Listen. You smell something?
Skunk Works. A group with a high degree of autonomy and unhampered by bureaucracy. This is Skunk Works.
Watch the Skunk Works Show live right now at skunkworkshow.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Welcome. I'm your host today, Ryan. You're listening to the Skunk Works Show. Sitting in with us today is Ben Horner and Alicia Miller. A little while we'll have Eric Gunnels. You can watch us every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. at theskunkworkshow.com. That's right. You can watch us live at theskunkworkshow.com. We have a full tray for you today, and here's Alicia with the rundown.
Hi, I'm Alicia. On today's show, we have the news, Man on the Street, a new 420 song of the week, Stacy and the Cannabis, our interview of the week, Eric Gunnels, the Iron Tested Report by Iron Laboratories, and a contest announcement.
Ooh, yeah, we have a new contest this week, Ben, so you might be excited. Ben, what's going on? What did you do this week? He's sitting in here doing our news for Chelsea. What's new, man?
Well, been busy doing fishing and getting the yard done, getting ready for springtime. Kids are out of school.
Oh, boy.
Getting ready to help everyone get their grows set up outside if they're not already set up, things of that nature.
Nice. So you've had a full plate, let's say. Alicia, what did you do all week this week? Anything cool and exciting, fresh, new, anything?
Not a whole lot, but we had a wonderful bonfire last night.
Nice. What made it so wonderful?
The weather.
Anything else? Anything? It was a full moon last night. Did anybody go out and enjoy the nice full moon?
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, baby.
Yes,
It was.
yes, we did.
All right. Well, let's see. What did I do this week? Last week I told everybody that I had a terrible week with my car. Nobody bothered me about it, so that was cool. Our car got smashed in, January, and we still haven't been able to drive it, and it's, June? We've had terrible problems, so nobody bothered me about that. So my week was good. We got some cool announcement from Iron Laboratories. They were the official High Times Medical Cannabis Cup Laboratory.
Nice.
So they got some really cool news for them. That's huge. I wasn't ready to let the cat out of the bag, per se, but we'll let them out. We're hopefully going to be the official radio station for the Cannabis Cup. We're in contact right now with those great people, and we're just waiting to hear back what the setup's going to be. So we plan on partnering up with Iron Labs and, of course, Michigan Organics and representing Flint strongly, and, it's going to be a good thing. I'm excited.
High Times is great. Coming to Flint, Flint needs it. Flint has one of the best emerging medical marijuana communities. And it will be a benefit economically to the area, bring some attention to Flint. Michael Moore did a good job bringing attention to Flint, but something more positive would be nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think we're going to do well. It should be a good time. So, anybody that's thinking about getting tickets or, interested in the Cup, you can hit our website, skunkworkshow.com. You can hit the High Times Cannabis Cup website. Right now, I believe at the end of the month, they're in San Francisco. Is that where they're headed? So they've got like 4 of these different cups scheduled, with Denver being the only real cannabis cup. The other ones are medical cups. But yeah, that's what's coming up. That's what the show is. We got a full plate. We're headed into our first break. We'll be right back in a few seconds.
Watch the Skunk Works Show live on skunkworkshow.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South North Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The real estate market is moving full speed ahead, so don't be left behind. Remember Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Nowak with Century 21 Town & Country, and I'm here to help you whether you're buying your first home or thinking of selling and moving on up. Let me guide you in the right direction. Call me at 248-835-2992. Again, it's 248-835-2992, and my focus will be on your needs. Remember Kim.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
Welcome back, and we're going to hit the news now. So now here's Ben Horner with the news brought to you by the Michigan Medical Marijuana Report.
All right, folks. The CDC reports this week that teen marijuana use across the nation is flat, actually down 3 points from 2000. In 2011 through 2013, a study was produced studying marijuana use amongst high school students, and 27% of students report that they recently tried marijuana, down 3% from 1999. Colorado will spend $9 million on researching medical marijuana. Dr. Larry Wolk from Colorado Health Department has dedicated $9 million to studying the effects of medical marijuana use on patients across Colorado. Dr. Wolk told reporters this week, "We want to make sure what's happened out there in everyone's practice isn't harming people." I hope they find out that medical marijuana really does help people. Here in Michigan, multiple fundraisers for Randy Richardville last week has given us a further inclination about 5106 and 4271. According to Richardville, he will hold a hearing in July to determine what changes need to be made to 4271, which is the Provisioning Center Act bill that will allow dispensaries to be legal across the state of Michigan. And then in September, he will determine there will be a vote in the House and if it's successful in the getting it out of committee, the Senate will get a vote on it, and then after the Senate and the House have voted on it, Governor Snyder will get a chance to legalize dispensaries across the state and the use of concentrates and edibles, which will be a big level of satisfaction for all the state's medical marijuana patients. Lapeer prosecutor Tim Tunkelson was removed from a medical marijuana case last week involving a medical marijuana patient and advocate, Jamie Fricke. Jamie Fricke is holding, still has charges back from 2011 when working at a Dryden dispensary, as well as other charges that have come up in the last year since. Having a prosecutor removed from a case for being biased against a patient for medical marijuana is the first that I'm aware of in the state.
That's huge.
Yeah. Grand Rapids and Detroit is suffered from a series of raids by law enforcement where dispensaries were raided and private homes were raided in connection with the transfer of medical marijuana. In both Grand Rapids and Detroit, business owners lost medical marijuana, cash, vehicles, and office electronics. Charges are still pending in Detroit and Grand Rapids. Reports that over $250,000 in marijuana and cash from one location was confiscated in one of these raids.
Once again, that's huge. Big money.
Big money for asset forfeiture. A lot of times in these situations, they take the stuff, but
no charges.
No charges.
They just want your stuff.
Right. Unfortunately, at least one dispensary that I'm aware of in Detroit, Helping Hands, was issued warrants. So although they have the assets or got charges, they're still going to have to face. Sorry, some technical difficulties there. All right. So, and then finally, Andrew Sissel has, as reported by Chelsea last week, has been successful in his attempts to get Oak Park petition finished. Now he's working on Berkeley and Pleasant Ridge. Andrew Sissel is running for the Michigan House of Representatives, and if elected, he will be the first medical marijuana patient and caregiver elected to state office. Although we do have Eric Gunnels here, who is maybe our first medical marijuana patient caregiver activist elected to a municipality. So I know we're all hoping that Andrew's going to pull this one off, and I know that having Mark Brewer, the head of the Democratic Party, represent Coalition for a Safer Michigan and make sure that that was on the August primary is going to be key to his success if he is in fact elected or gets the nomination for the Democratic Party, because in the Ferndale area, in that part of Oakland County, the Democrats, typically keep that seat.
We are just beating the studio up today.
Beating the studio up. And I'm Ben Horner, filling in for Chelsea. That's the news brought to you by the Michigan Medical Marijuana Report.
Excellent. There's a couple things. We got some time. On the first thing with the teen use, it dropped 3%. And that study's from current, but those stats are from 1999 to now. So it's over a 10-year study.
No, well, the study was produced between 2011 and 2013 by the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and
let's say that again. The CDC, they run everything as far as the medical staff or the medicine. They keep track of disease. They keep track of drug use, alcoholism. They keep track of all that stuff. So it's a key factor.
Yeah, it does. The most important thing is that, with the advent of medical marijuana and recreational use, there's this presumption that there's this presumption that there's this presumption that use is going to go up. Oh my gosh, the kids are going to use the marijuana. Well, study shows in 1999, 30% of high school students had tried and recently used marijuana, and now, 10 years later, go from 1999 to 2011 through 2013, it's down to 27%. So I guess maybe it's not that cool to get high in high school anymore.
Well, we don't want our kids doing that anyway. So if that's the message, then, that's great. And really what we should all take from this is that giving medical marijuana to patients that need it, or even letting cannabis use for adults 21 and over, is not an issue. It's not hurting our children. The stats are proving that it's not hurting our children. It's an adult activity. Just like I wouldn't accept that my kid or my neighbor's kid would be drinking in the streets or intoxicated on pills. We don't allow or accept children to be intoxicated in the United States. It's not something most of us would accept. So, these kind of stats, news stories, whatever you want to say, really support the truth. And that's what we really want to tell on this show, is the truth. If there's problems, we're going to tell you what those problems are. But when things are falling in our favor, or, they're not problems, then we're going to tell you what isn't a problem. In kids on marijuana, seems to be not a problem.
Well, kids are going to use, we don't want it to be on the streets. At least if you have dispensaries in places where people that are of age can acquire it, it's less likely a black market's going to promote that. So that's probably for the best, I would hope.
Our 420 song's coming up. If anybody heard Sniffer right there, he's letting us know real quick. We've got a contest coming up. Our 420 song is sponsored by OG Smokes in Waterford on Cass Lake Road. If you know last week's song, give us a call at 810-743-8255. Tell me what I played last week, and you can win a vape pen and a nice little prize package. Once again, 810-743-8255. Give us a call. You can win a vape pen with some other cool prizes.
Like the gang of curse the cliff and draw the curtains. I don't care, 'cause it's alright. I will get by. I know I will get by. I will get by. I will survive. I know. I see you've got your list out. Say your piece and get out. Yes, I get the gist of it, but it's alright. Sorry that you feel that way. The only thing there is to say, every silver lining's got the touch of grace. I will get by. I know I will get by. Ooh, I will get by. I will survive. Oh yes, it's a lesson to me. The able and the fakers and the seeds. The ABCs we almost faced, and tried to keep a little grace. I will get
Submit your request for a 420 Song of the Week at skunkworkshow.com.
We're going into break. Once again, you can call us at 810-743-8255. Give us a call. Tell me what last week's 420 song was, and you'll win a prize pack.
By Iron Laboratories.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South Dort Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dort Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The real estate market is moving full speed ahead, so don't be left behind. Remember Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Nowak with Century 21 Town and Country, and I'm here to help you whether you're buying your first home or thinking of selling and moving on up. Let me guide you in the right direction. Call me at 248-835-2992. Again, it's 248-835-2992, and my focus will be on your needs. Remember Kim.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Attention all units, attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
We are back, and you are listening or watching to the Skunk Works Show. If you want to watch us, go to skunkworkshow.com, and if you're listening to us, stay with us. We have Man on the Street, which has become a little bit of a favorite piece for some people. We were out at Great Lakes Crossing this week and just asking people some random questions. So we're going to let you guys take a hear on what the people on the street have to say about medical marijuana in Michigan and overall in the United States. So stick with us. Standing out in front of Great Lakes Crossing Mall, and I'm standing with
Derek Towns.
Where are you from, Mr. Towns?
From Flint, Michigan.
What brought you out to Great Lakes today?
I came out to do a little shopping and do a little browsing.
Right now, there's a bill stalling in the House of Representatives in Michigan. That bill would allow dispensaries to open so patients could get medicine in a safe way. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yes, I do. I think it's a very good idea because I think, my opinion, within the next 10 years, every state in the United States will have legalized marijuana laws in effect. Okay, so it's growing.
Colorado seems to be the lead state right now. It is legal, so you have no problem with people 21 and over having cannabis use in it's not a problem for you.
No, it's not. It's not a problem at all, especially if it's for medical reasons. But on the other hand, you know, they have recreational marijuana too, okay, where people can go in Colorado, you can go in the store and they got a counter for recreational marijuana and they got a counter for medical marijuana. So I think within the next 10 years, it will be spread across the United States. Every state will have legalized medical marijuana laws in effect.
Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a beautiful summer night, and I'm standing with
Teresa Levine,
Where are you from, Teresa?
Flint, Michigan.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
My whole life, 37 years.
Michigan has a medical marijuana law. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh, yeah.
You're a parent. I saw you walk up with some kids. Has it affected you in any way, positive or negative, in how has it affected your children?
It's easier for them to get. It's easier to be obtained at school. It's easier all the way around. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it as a parent.
You see the whole country as a whole seems to be moving closer and closer to legalization. Is that something that concerns you as a parent?
Yeah, it needs to be controlled, and it's not controlled.
Would you have a problem with it if it was more like alcohol, or do you think we should just maybe stop it before it gets uncontrollable, as you said?
I think that the guidelines should be stronger on it, and I believe that it should be controlled like alcohol. I don't think random people should be able to grow it and sell it to so-called people with cards, because I think people are abusing the system completely.
Have you talked to your daughters about marijuana more in the last couple of years because of maybe their age or because of the law in Michigan and how everything seems to be unfolding?
I have 7 children. I have talked to every one of them about using drugs, marijuana, everything. We live in Flint. This day and age, there's everything on the street. It's not just marijuana. So, I mean, yes, I have. And you just have to pound it. That it's not good for you, and it's not good for your children. You can't get a job. You can't do anything if you're hooked on drugs.
Thank you very much for your time, Teresa. Here at Great Lakes Crossing, it's a beautiful summer night, and I'm standing with
Rachel and Kat.
Where are you guys from?
Originally Oscoda, but we're in Auburn Hills.
Yeah, Oscoda and then Auburn Hills as well.
Yeah.
What brought you guys down here to the southern part of the state?
School.
Oakland.
Oh, you're university students. I have a question for you. Did you know that Michigan has a medical marijuana law?
Yes.
What do you know about the law? Do you know anybody that uses cards? Do you think it's a good thing?
Yes. I don't really... I know people who use cards, and whoever has their cards can basically do what they want, I feel, you know.
I don't really care either way. Like, I mean, I personally don't, but I know people who have their cards and, like, love that, I guess. But, I mean, it's not my preference.
So it's not a problem for you if somebody chooses to go get a medical card, or let's say even somebody chooses as an adult to use cannabis. Do you think it's okay if they're responsible and they use it in their own home and they're not hurting anybody?
I think it's safer than alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely think it's safer than alcohol. Being a college student, I definitely think it's safer than alcohol. Again, it's still not even my preference, and I think that.
This question will hit a little closer to home. You guys are college students. You're here in Oakland County, which is known to be one of the most conservative counties in the United States. Do kids that you go to school with, young adults, do you see them using cannabis? Is it a popular thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids I know from college, like, smoke pot, but there's a lot of kids from Oakland that I know who don't, too. So I think at Oakland it's literally 50-50.
But you don't see it being a problem. There's no problems because of that.
You're responsible, you have your card, or...
The only problem is if you get in trouble, then you're done with school.
So maybe it's time that we change the laws and allow freedom for everybody?
I think.
If used responsibly. Right. Yeah. Only if used responsibly.
Thank you very much for your time.
This is Skunkworks.
All right, I guess over the man on the street, we've got a caller. His name is Steve. Steve, you're on with Ryan. You're on with Ben. You've got Eric here. What do you got to tell us?
Hey, I think that caller a few minutes ago still wants prohibition. We know that didn't work with alcohol, and we know that even in the Bible, God gave man control over every seed-bearing crop on earth.
That's true. So it sounds like you're pro-medical cannabis?
I'm pro full legalization. If you're 21 or older, I think if you want to smoke, smoke, because it does less damage than drinking. I know plenty of people that are hooked on alcohol for the rest of their lives. If they were smoking weed instead of drinking, they'd be able to function in society.
Agreed. I wish more people had that mindset. That's why we do this show.
Here, here.
Where are you from,
it.
Steve?
I'm right from downtown Flint.
Nice. Are you a card holder by chance?
No, but I'll smoke. So I'm 32. I've been smoking since I was before 21, and I'll probably until the day I die.
There you go. Excellent. Well, we appreciate that you listened to the show. Is there any shout-out you want to give out before we move on?
Well, not really, just to you guys. Thanks for what you do, you know. Keep educating people, and people just need to realize that, like that woman said about kids in school and stuff, what about all the pills the kids probably steal from her family's medicine cabinets and trade at school for other stuff, you know?
That's something that is a definite truth. Kids don't go for street drugs. They go for medicine cabinets. That's the most popular way kids are getting high these days. So that is
nowadays they're all about, like, I guess kids are still into doing the codeine cough syrup.
right. What do they call that? Scissor or some crazy thing?
They think it's cool because Lil Wayne and other people, whoever, you know, that's what they're into, and that's what they do.
There you go. Steve, we appreciate the call. We got to get on here with Eric Gunnels from Thedford Township. You have a great day, and thank you for your support.
Hey, you too.
All right. We have Eric Gunnels from Thedford Township. He's sitting in with us today. Eric, what's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, more than happy. My first time that your name ever came up, I used to sit in another show called The Political Twist-Up Show, and I believe it was 2012, around there. You had set up a campaign, and you were running to, be elected, I believe, for November 2012. Is that right?
That's correct. I was a medical marijuana activist as soon as the law passed. I was one of the first caregivers in the state of Michigan to receive a license, one of the first 140, I believe it was.
Nice.
And from there, I just began pursuing the medical cannabis movement as more of an industry. I saw it more of an industry, something that could bring economic viability to the community, to the state, and I think that we need that at this time. And from there, I tried to do a business, but then it got shut down and lost that whole deal, sort of lost out badly. I lost a lot of invested money in this and that. I lost my house in the economic downturn of 2007, and I lost my house involved in that too. So I think really over the last few years, I sort of was forged into sort of a politician, if you will.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just sort of drove me into to politics after kind of having the door slammed in my face by the local elected officials in my community. I decided to run as one of them, and in 2012, I took the oath of office, and the people chose me. So
nice. So instead of taking a beating, laying down, and giving up, you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps and said, you know what, instead of being controlled, I'm going to take control.
Yep.
That's you know what, if there were more people like you, this movement would go a lot further, a lot faster.
Well, that was my intended goal as well, just to encourage others that the Constitution was put in place for us to alter or abolish whenever a government becomes corrupt of its means. And that means that every generation, it's for those generation of people for those that feel compelled or feel the call, if you will, to step up to the plate and be a leader and try to help the community and our culture balance itself out as we progress into the future. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's intended to do, and I quickly saw that as the means of really making effective change.
Were you welcomed when you first started, talking about maybe getting on the ballot and putting your plan together? Was there resistance? Were people welcoming?
I think a lot of people just right away thought to themselves, well, whatever you do, don't say anything about medical marijuana or marijuana, because that'll just make you lose the election automatically. And I told people, I said, well, while you may think that way have happened years ago, today is not the same day. I think the medical marijuana law really broke a lot of ice for us to be able to have these conversations about marijuana, to have a discussion, whispering. Right, and without being ashamed, because we're talking about medical marijuana, patients and conditions and so forth. It's not recreational yet. I mean, even though I think that it should be legal recreationally, and I still am for the movement of that.
Right.
But I still think that today, while we're in the parameter of medical marijuana, that's all we can really currently talk about. But I think the science is there to show that. So I'm proud to be a pro-cannabis in that regard.
Nice. Now, that was how I met you, was through the other show. It was a few years ago. recently, I think when your name really came back into play, we were in Lansing together. And quick little story, I parked in a parking garage, and I had a debit card and no cash, and Mr. Gunnels was behind me wanting out of the garage, and
I'm like thinking, what's going on? What's this guy doing?
I had to get out of my car, walk back to this man that I barely knew, and said, I really don't know how to get out of here. And he's like, you have to put money in the machine, dude. So
I should have said, get a job, you bum.
So he freed me from my cage, as we might say, and we went out and had lunch. But we were in Lansing. We were in front of Senator Richardville. You spend a lot of time, as Ben sitting next to me does, in Lansing talking with these guys. Have you seen their attitudes change? The lawmakers, the big players, whatever you want to call them.
I have, because I believe that today, more than ever, politicians recognize from the testimony, especially on the previous hearings earlier, even last year and this year, the hearings where there was a lot of parents, teachers, social workers involved giving testimony. I think that right there was a big turning point of the whole perception of our legislators. I think before, when this law first passed, I believe that they really just took it as, oh, here's a bunch of hippies that just want to get high. Right. But I think that right after that, after the testimony given by the parents who had children with epilepsy, other conditions, cerebral palsy, I'm just trying, I can't name all the conditions, but there's a lot of conditions that these children had, which the recent Court of Appeals rulings totally shut off their ability to have a cannabis, non-smokable cannabis administered to the children. And that was a huge push by the parents and so forth. When you saw that come to fruition, you really knew that at that moment, especially as I was there, I witnessed it myself, there almost wasn't a dry eye in the room, because the compassion and the compellingness to listen to the seriousness of how this affected the community was real. And it was not fake. It was not posted up there. It was real. It came from real parents, real children, real sick people, and in need. You know what I mean? Yes. And from that need, I think the legislative body now in Michigan looks at this as, okay, this is something I could stand behind and be proud of to represent.
Eric, we appreciate all the hard work you do. We know you're going to be backing us and fighting for our rights. We appreciate it. I'm glad you came and did the show, and we're going to have you back, because we're never going to be able to cover everything. So thank you for coming out.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
The real estate market is moving full speed ahead, so don't be left behind. Remember Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Nowak with Century 21 Town & Country, and I'm here to help you whether you're buying your first home or thinking of selling and moving on up. Let me guide you in the right direction. Call me at 248-835-2992. Again, it's 248-835-2992, and my focus will be on your needs. Remember Kim.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South North Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Attention all units, attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
All right, you're back with the Skunk Works Show. Some of you are listening, some of you are watching. And right now, we've got Heather from Iron Laboratories in Walled Lake. Heather, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Real good, real good. We definitely didn't have enough time to go over everything last week, so we got you back on this week. We want to talk about the edibles. That's really what we were shooting for. So we want to know a little bit more about edible testing and how you can tell how much medication is in an edible and, you know, dosing and things like that. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and let me know. How's this work?
All right. Well, I mean, testing is important for two main reasons. The first reason being you can't really look at a brownie and tell how much medicine is in it. You know, you're not going to know until after you eat it if it hasn't been tested. And, you know, that might not do what you want it to do, or it might put you to sleep for way longer than you want to, you know, sleep for. So it's important to know how much medicine is in the product you're consuming. The second most important reason it's important to test is because you need to determine how active the medication is that's in the product. In the plant, the cannabinoids naturally are in their acidic forms. And when we heat the plant, you know, usually by smoking or vaporizing, that is what converts the acidic forms of the cannabinoids into their active form. So we don't smoke or vaporize, say, a brownie. So it's important when we put the plant into something that we're consuming orally that we cook it to a certain point so that the cannabinoids are actually active and are going to do what we want them to do. So that's another thing that we look at with the edibles.
Now, is there a temperature that you need to hit? What would that temperature be to make those chemicals active?
THC decarboxylates at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, and CBD decarboxylates at about 265 degrees Fahrenheit. So you don't need to get the product up to that temperature for very long, but unless it reaches that temperature, it won't decarboxylate fully, and you won't be getting the full potential from your medicine.
This kind of takes us off topic, but it popped into my head as soon as you said that. What if I was eating just the raw flour?
There's still a lot of benefits to eating the raw flour for medical use, although you won't have the psychoactive effects and some of all of the effects. You're still going to receive a lot of the medical value without getting high, per se. The raw form will not help, won't impact your mood. It's not going to cut your pain like, the psychoactive form. But
so I'm wasting my medication, Heather. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, the THCA is medically beneficial for a number of reasons. But it can also, it's not very psychoactive, but it can kind of make you feel spacey, kind of spaced out, hard to concentrate. But I mean, that differs for everybody. But there are medical benefits to the THCA by itself, but most people who are putting the medicine into brownies and other consumable products are really looking to get the effect that they're going to get from that medicine being fully activated.
What is the best way to ensure consistency in a medible?
Taking notes when you are, in the kitchen is a good way to make sure you're doing the same thing every time. Keep a notebook. Write down how long you cook the butter for if you're using butter, or if you're decarboxylating. You can decarboxylate raw flours in the oven. You can do that with hash oil as well, or just, regular, non-solvent hash. You can decarboxylate. When I say decarboxylate, that is what the chemical term for it turning from the acidic form into the active form is. So you can do it in the oven, or you can do it, through baking, but you don't get as good of results unless you activate it before you really put it into the product.
I get all of my edibles tested at Iron Labs, and I get those reports back, and it shows me, how much THC is in there, how activated it is, and how mine compared to a lot of other people that are doing out there. And I tell you, it's really helped me get a consistent recipe is by making sure that it's testing. And, if I'm going to label an edible product and not put how much medicine's in there, and I have no test to back it up, you got no legs to stand on. Testing is mandatory.
What do you find, Heather, over there when you guys are testing? Do you find the butter to be a more stable way or a concentrate? What would you say is the best way to infuse food?
If you're using just, like Rick Simpson oil RSO that's already been activated and you're infusing that in the food, that's a very easy way to get medicine to patients that you don't really have to take a whole lot of extra steps. You can just put the Simpson oil into the food and kind of just cook it up. And that's one of the best ways. Another way is butter. Butter is, all fat, and the cannabinoids are fat soluble. So you can really get a lot of medicine into a little bit of butter. And as long as you're cooking the butter enough, you can do that in a crock pot, say, and just keep it at the temperature, so it doesn't burn or scald or anything like that.
We want tasty food, not burnt food.
Right,
I
exactly.
use induction cooking.
Nice. You're a chef. Everybody needs to know Ben Horner's a chef, so, he would know about the best way to do that probably without burning it. Heather, I also heard something else, which you may or may not know. Iron Laboratories of Walled Lake, Michigan is the official High Times Medical Flint Cannabis Cup Laboratories. Is that true?
Yes, that's true, and we're very excited about that.
I have to say I am too. We definitely, once again, won't have enough time to cover everything we wanted with you. We hope to have you on again next week, or at least another representative from Iron Laboratories. We have to get over to the cannabis, so thank you for calling in and talking with us again. We will never have enough time to cover everything you guys do, but you're greatly appreciated. We believe in what you do over there. Ben, what do you got to say about Iron Laboratories?
Iron Laboratories is the best, and Heather is really awesome. She's so smart and beautiful too, by the way.
Oh, see, I've never seen her. She sounds very nice though. So
she's hot.
All right, Heather. Before this gets out of control, we're going to let you go. Thank you again for your time, and we'll talk to you next week. We got Stacy with Cannabis with us. Stacy, are you there?
Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Now, we last left you in Chicago last weekend. Can you give me a little rundown on how that wound up and how it went for you?
Yeah, that went pretty good. It was a cannabis conference, like the first one that they've had in Chicago. So
Navy
it was
Pier.
pretty good. Yeah.
When we left you were going to see Captain Kirk. Did you go see the captain?
Oh, by the time we got all the way over there, his class was just over.
Oh, no. Did you get a little after-school tutorial?
No, but we've decided, me and Racine were together, and we decided that we're gonna arrange a class all on our own.
Nice. There you go. That's the best way. Private study. Private study always is the best. So what do you got going on now? Where are you at
but we
today?
heard a lot of people come out of his class, and a lot of people that did get to go was very happy they made it.
Nice. Yeah, he's a great guy. I've
Yeah.
met him a few times, and he's a really good person. Where are you at today? Where you at? What you doing?
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky at their state VFW conference. It just finished up, and celebrating fantastic news. My Uncle Gary was killed here 12, he's a Vietnam veteran, and he was killed here almost 21 years ago over 12 plants. And when we first started working with the veterans a year ago, they wanted this, but they were real nervous about the VFW, like how, everything was the response we were going to get here in Kentucky.
Well, today, or yesterday, they passed the Veterans for Medical Marijuana resolution. They've been trying to get state VFWs to sign up on. Kentucky hasn't wanted nothing to do with it for the last couple years, but yesterday they approved it unanimously. Well, I think they had 2 no votes or something. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
That's awesome.
the resolution is the state of Kentucky veterans saying, yes, federal government, we need safe access for our veterans, whether state programs exist or not, and you need to administer it through the VAs. So it's a big step in the right direction. The next step is the national conference is in July, and it goes in front of the National Resolution Committee, and then it goes to D.C.
That is amazing. I think that all 3 of us are sitting here going, unbelievable, unbelievable. Kentucky historically has been one of the most hardcore states, saying they would never, never let cannabis be a part of their state. And look at, you're there, you're fighting the fight, and you're bringing it to the forefront. So, you know, everybody that is listening to this show, go check out our website, check out Stacy, hit her links. You know, she is the cannabis owner, driver, and operator. She has toured from coast to coast to make things better for everybody in cannabis, whether it's medical or recreational. She is somebody that really is out there making it happen. Stacy, that's amazing.
She's pretty hot, too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been very, I've been an emotional wreck. You know, just a couple weeks ago they planted hemp seeds in the same county right down from my family's farm. From where, you know, my Uncle Gary was murdered 21 years ago, and then today, you know, it's our veterans, our VFWs that were started because of the way our veterans were treated after Vietnam. You know, it's at the VFWs that are, you know, standing up for our veterans. You know, it's just wonderful, especially out of Kentucky, my home.
That is excellent. I'm once again so happy that you're on the show and you're a part of our team. We will support you continuously until this fight is won. We will talk with you next week. Thank you for being on, and have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, Stacey.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South North Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free, and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The real estate market is moving full speed ahead, so don't be left behind. Remember Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Nowak with Century 21 Town & Country, and I'm here to help you whether you're buying your first home or thinking of selling and moving on up. Let me guide you in the right direction. Call me at 248-835-2992. Again, it's 248-835-2992, and my focus will be on your needs. Remember Kim.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
All right, we're back. You sat in with another session of the Skunk Works Show. I want to thank Eric Gunnels from Thedford Township. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for coming out. It's always needed, you know, when the truth's being told. We want to help support that. Ben Horner from Michigan Organics, thank you for coming out.
No problem.
And I want to thank Stacy. I want to thank Iron Laboratories. And I want to thank, you know, Kevin, our board op, who's here every week that, you know, gives up his Saturday to do the work. And I want to thank Kevin Nowak, who is our producer, editor, and all-around team member. This has been a Nowak Media production. Have a great day.
Do you smell that?
What is it?
The Skunk Works Show, giving you a scent of the truth.
Live every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFNT.
News from the 420 Underground.
It's the Skunk Works Show.
Do you smell that?
What is it?
The Skunk Works Show, giving you a scent of the truth.
Live every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. on Monroe County Radio.
News from the 420 Underground.
It's the Skunk Works Show.